Hello, good morning, guys. Well, I'm Phunsudarge from Bhutan, student of International Marketing Studies in IMC. Today, I will talk about how Nike transformed itself from facing serious sweatshop scandals in the 1990s to becoming a global leader in corporate social responsibility and inclusive marketing. This journey shows how big brands can change when they take responsibility and listen to their stakeholders. About me, as a master's student in international marketing, I am passionate about ethical business, sustainability, and inclusion. In the future, I want to work as a marketing director for a brand that values responsible business and positive social impact. Cases like Nike's transformation inspire me to use marketing to create meaningful change. To give you an overview of Nike brand, Nike was founded in 1964 and its famous slogan, "Just Do It," came in 1988. For many years, Nike focused mainly on athlete performance and ignored ethical issues in its supply chain. However, the brand later shifted to a more responsible approach, protecting workers' rights and the environment. This aligns with stakeholder theory, where businesses create value not only for customers but also for employees, communities, and the planet. About crisis, sweatshops in the 1990s to 2000s. In the 1990s and early 2000s, Nike was exposed for unethical factory practices in Asia. This included child labor, that is age between 10 to 13, extremely long working hours, and unsafe environment. These actions went against basic moral duties and caused major ethical concerns, turning Nike into a global corporate villain. Because of crisis, they had reputational damage. The scandals caused boycotts, protests, backlash, and a major loss of trust. Nike became a symbol of exploitation. From an ethical point of view, this was a functional failure because the harm caused to workers and communities outweighed any business benefit. Nike realized it needed to change to protect its reputation and long term success. Next, I would like to talk about its turning point, that is leadership commitment. In the 2000s, Nike leaders decided to make big change. They publicly committed to fixing their supply chain, so they hired Hannah Jones as vice president of corporate responsibility and introduced strict factory audits and worker support programs. This shift reflected virtue ethics, focusing on doing what is right and rebuilding trust through strong character and leadership. With its reforms, I want to share about their sustainable sourcing achievement. By 2023, Nike achieved major progress. 96% of its energy came from renewable sources. 99.9% of waste avoided landfills. These results show the success of stakeholder approach, benefiting workers, suppliers, customers, and the environment. They also strengthened Nike's position as a sustainable global brand. They also focus on environmental leadership with ideology of Move to Zero. Nike's Move to Zero strategy aims for zero carbon and zero waste. Between fiscal year 2020 and 2024, Nike reduced scope 1 and 2 emissions by 69%. It also introduced new technologies like water-free dyeing, cutting energy use by 60%. Although this progress is strong, Nike still needs to accelerate reductions in scope 3 emissions, which make up the biggest environmental impact. Moreover, they adapted the idea as inclusion in marketing strategies. Nike has expanded into inclusive product lines such as sport hijabs for Muslim athletes, adaptive wear for people with disabilities, plus size and maternity sportswear. To me, this approach promotes fairness, serves diverse customers, and drives both social impact and business growth. Next step they have taken is collaboration in activist marketing for Dream Crazy. In 2018, Nike partnered with Colin Kaepernick for the Dream Crazy campaign, supporting racial justice. Even though it started with controversy, Nike's sales increased by 10%. This bold move connected deeply with Gen Z and strengthened Nike's cultural relevance. It showed that taking a stand on social issues can build a stronger, more loyal customer base. Finally, what I will take into my career from this research is from Nike's transformation, I learned four key lessons. First, accountability. Real actions matter more than the relationship with the public. Two, authenticity. Avoid greenwashing. That is, a company who pretends to be environmentally friendly without actually doing real environmental action. In other words, fake sustainability. Third, inclusion. Make it part of the core strategy. And fourth, ethical system. Change must happen across the whole organization. As a future marketing director, I aim to use these lessons to build brands that are responsible, inclusive, and beneficial for all stakeholders. That's all about my presentation, and thank you so much for lending your ear. And I have attached a list of references that I used while developing this presentation. Thank you so much.